and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. In this video I'm taking a game ZED RUN. So this is it's been around for a while actually. It's taken me a bit of time to kind of work out what's going on, and I think it's taken them a bit of time to kind of deploy as well. It's running on the Ethereum blockchain, so not really the best time in the world to be deploying a game on Ethereum because of these very high gas prices. But there we go. So ZED RUN is as you can see, is a kind of blockchain-based digital horse racing game, horse ownership and racing game. But development teams in Australia, they're funded by various people, but one of the companies is Unicorn, which is an existing esports gambling platform on blockchain. It's been around for a while. What do we have here? So we have horses, obviously, that you can own and breed, and also it has the races, which then you can enter your horses into and win, but equally on the other side of that you have this idea that people can come and bet on the on who's going to win. So to some degree I suppose you have this idea of kind of like a lightweight in terms of the gambling side, and in fact if you see at the top of the screen there's a thing called ZEST, and ZEST is a token that you would use to bet on these races, and potentially it could kind of act as an on-ramp for people who just kind of get into Zed, I suppose, but don't want to spend the money and don't understand about Ethereum and don't want to own horses and all that sort of stuff. They can just start gambling, and then over time potentially they get enough zest to kind of buy a horse or kind of just generally get into the spirit of the thing. So okay, so if we go to the basic setup, so here's the marketplace, very much as we'd expect in any NFT based game. Here are some NFTs, and they are different prices they are set for. Obviously if you know what's going on in this game, you can have an idea about valuation, or at least some idea of valuation. It's always the problem with these blockchain games, it's very opaque really to people who come into a game. How are these things valued? I can't say I really know a lot about it in Zed. But we can see there's different kind of bloodlines, I suppose. So there's the obviously these ones here are Buterin after Vitalik, and then they're fillies or colts. Obviously that's the horse bit of it, not blockchain bits of it. And then there's this Zed, and then a number, and that's to do with the kind of the generation. And also because it's there is this kind of breeding aspect. There's a stud marketplace, so like there would be with siring in CryptoKitties. So we can see here there's a stud fee if you want to breed with some of these. Obviously I guess that's fairly advanced. The next piece of the puzzle is racing. So there's these races going on, and obviously not obviously I suppose, but the Zed is trying to build it into kind of, I guess, where horse racing happens in the real world, to kind of mimic that to some degree. So we have these different locations around the world. Obviously, it's happening on a blockchain, so and these are not real horses, so it's kind of like just aping that, and we can kind of see there's different classes. Griffin is the kind of entry level, then class 1, class 2. There's the buy-in, so if you want to race your horse, you have to pay that ETH to get in, and then you can see the prize pool, and we can see how many people are entered. So it says here on the Discord there's 227 users online, but in terms of actual kind of usage in this kind of game, not a lot at the moment. Now let's have a look. So Griffin is the entry level sort of race, and I in fact do have, if it's going to work, I have 2 horses that I bought ages ago. So we have Bloemfontein in South Africa, or the United Arab Emirates race. And we have the distance, obviously depending on the genetic breakdown of your horse, it might be better at different distances. Very different prize pools, different sort of buy-ins. I don't know about the time, it doesn't really show the time when these things are happening, but so we could go and try here. So here we can see the horses that are entered. So we can see here details of this. There's some pretty high-end horses here. These are legendary ones. Maybe I don't want to race them. So these ones look a bit more like mine, although some of these are quite high-end as well. I can't enter any of these. So Maybe Griffin isn't as low level as I thought, because these ones seem jolly. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, this is to go through this for the kind of the point of doing the video. So I'm not going to win. So let's just go here. So pick a gate to nominate a horse for this race. This is kind of a bit odd. I suppose there's a limited. You only have 12 in a race, so you kind of choosing. I don't know if it matters where you would choose your gate. So we can see here one of my horses here. Wicklow Brave is a Z8 Genesis Butterin Griffin, and it's raced once and not done anything at all. So if I go to my stable, we can see here I've got 2 horses, one of which is prepared and one of which is ready to race. To be totally honest, no idea what the difference between those things is. It seems very odd. I guess that they want a cool down kind of thing. I guess you have that in most blockchain games where you have a cooldown after something has happened, but I don't really know why that is the case. So it's ready to race, and I have to go back and tediously go through I think the user experience flow in order to get this one going on. So what was I going to do? So okay, so I'm going to pick that, going to pick that one, going to have to nominate it, and it was, so last time it ran it was 9th. I don't think it's going to get much better, to be honest, but I'm going to have to pay 0.02 ETH. So what's that going to be at the moment? Is that like about $8? So obviously we're going to go through the whole transaction thing, and I'm not logged into MetaMask, so let's just go and sort that. So yeah, somewhat ridiculous with the gas fees at the moment. So the cost is $8.20 and the gas fee is $10.91. So I think I might actually duck out of that, as I'm not going to have a chance of winning. But you can kind of see how that works. So I think, yeah, definitely these guys need to get a layer 2 in. We can see here, so there's been 1,815 races and 423 ETH apparently has been paid out. So I think this one is showing here. This is the one that this is the one that I raced previously, and let's see. So there we go. I was 9th. I did not win nothing. I was 2.5 seconds off. So only the top 3. Basically the pool is split between the top 3. If I want to, I can review the race. Don't really know why I would do that. So there we go. I think it is kind of interesting. I guess less interesting on the more interesting on the onboarding of the Zest thing, which I haven't quite got to work yet. So I'll have to do another video once I've got that to work. But I guess this is, this kind of thing is quite. These NFT things are quite complicated anyway, without trying to ape a real world scenario. I think with CryptoKitties, the whole kind of breeding thing, it made sort of sense because, one, they were simple tools you could use, and 2, it was basically just what the thing kind of looked like. It was a big part of it. With this, you don't quite have that kind of ability to just go, unless you're spending a lot of time on this game, and then probably a lot of money. This is the horse, so we can see here. This is my Wicklow Brave. So it's had 1 race, it's not won anything, no offsprings. What the coat cadet blue, don't know what that means. Kind of quite hard to work out. Apart from the gen, kind of quite whether I should have bought that one or not. So I think that's quite a big thing to overcome. Maybe kind of loading people into the gambling side so people get an idea about kind of what wins when, would be an interesting way of doing that. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where I spend our time trying to make sense of blockchain games. Generally not succeeding, but learning a lot along the way. So if you're into blockchain games, please do subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching the video, and hope to see you again.